Happy holidays, everyone! It is the most wonderful time of the year, and today I would like to talk about the most festive movie I have ever had the pleasure of auditioning for. Terrifier 3. Yes, the movie about the clown that dresses up as Santa Claus and murders people. I got the call to audition for that movie last year. So I've been acting professionally in film for about 6 years now. I've also acted in a couple of indie horror projects, and I love horror movies. Out of the dozens of auditions that I have had to do over the span of my career, I am still like the most proud of having auditioned for Terrifier 3. That's like my favorite thing I've ever auditioned for. It just fills me with so much glee to be able to say that I could have been in that movie. If you've been living under a rock and you have no idea what Terrifier is, let me just briefly explain it to you right now. Terrifier was originally a movie that came out in 2016. It was a very low budget horror that featured Art the Clown and two girls who basically have to escape his wrath. It was very bloody and gory and lots of gross out horror. And so the Terrifier series has been known for having people walk out of the theaters just because of how intense it can get. But the really hardcore horror nerds loved it. So then they released a second movie, I believe it was in 2019. Yes, I remember when that came out in the movie theaters. I was working at a movie theater when that came out, and I remember all the people that went in to go see it. Oh my gosh. And then the third installment of the series just got released this year, 2024. And it was a Christmas-themed horror movie. It had a budget of $2 million, but it made back $89 million at the box office. Damien Leone, the creator and director, he shoots the Terrifier series primarily in New Jersey and New York. I am from the tri-state area. I live in New Jersey, so when I got the message that I was selected to audition for Terrifier, I was not surprised. I auditioned for a smaller part in Terrifier 3. I auditioned for the Virgin Mary statue that appears in Sienna's vision that she has towards the end of the movie. It's a lifelike Virgin Mary statue, and it stands right next to an orc-like demon that also appears in Sienna's vision. It's a character with no lines, but there was movement involved with it and prosthetics, so they still had to cast an actress for it. I saw a casting call for it on Actors Access, and I self-submitted for the Virgin Mary statue. However, it was my managers who ultimately secured that audition for me. Now, without further ado, let us check out the original breakdown for the role and the message that I received when I was first asked to audition for the part. So I originally got this audition request on Friday, December 15th, 2023. The EcoCast title is Terrifier, Female Creature. Start date, February 2024, location, New Jersey. Role name, Female Creature. Role description, female or male to portray a female creature, seeking an actor with experience in movement, mime, and or dance. Heavy special effects, prosthetics, and makeup required. New York, New Jersey local hire only. Specific character details will be given to actors who audition. Role notes. Role appears in one scene only. Actor will appear as life-size statue of the Virgin Mary in dream sequence. And then there were some instructions to go along with the audition. Self-tape auditions should be a physical improvisation as such. 1. Start improv posing as a statue of the Virgin Mary. 2. Slowly start moving as if the statue is coming to life, almost like a stop-motion performance. 3. From the script, the benevolent yet eerie statue of the Virgin Mary moves in a jerky, stone-like manner, ever so slightly, as it watches over the demon. Keep audition to 1 minute max, and slate. The audition was due on Monday, December 18th at 5 p.m., so I only had the weekend to figure out how to do an improvisation of all that. Even though I didn't have any trained background in movement or dance, I did go into this audition feeling fairly confident because before this, I had done a slew of scary monster ghost roles in horror movies, like creepy characters that don't really talk much and just communicate through scary movement. So I kind of figured I would just take everything I had learned from those previous roles and just showcase them in this big bad audition. And a lot of those roles also involved heavy prosthetics, so I knew I didn't have any latex allergies. And I'd also just come off of doing a scare acting gig and one of those haunted house attractions, so I was feeling good about this, maybe a little too overconfident about it. Okay, so without further ado, it is time to watch this tape. I have not seen it in a while. I've sent it around to people because whenever I tell people I've auditioned for Terrifier 3, they're like, ooh, I want to watch that. But I haven't rewatched this in depth in a while, so this is gonna be interesting. AirPods are in. I got my festive Christmas sweater ready. This is actually a sweater from Nicole Raffy's Depop, by the way, just a fun fact. Okay, now a festive Christmas hat. Oh, and another gift. Oh, look at this. We also got an axe covered with dried blood. Definitely doesn't look like it was used to murder a sleeping family or anything. You know what, I'm just gonna put this back on the floor. All right, and without further ado, here's my Terrifier 3 audition tape. I'm Catherine Maluski. I am 5'2", and I am a New York local hire. Okay, so just starting off right there, the blue shawl and the white shirt. When I was like prepping for this audition, I was like, what the hell am I going to wear for this? Like, clearly I can't wear like a costume because that's too obvious and just like a little too weird. They say in the acting industry that you're supposed to like dress to suggest. You're not supposed to put on a full costume. So I just came up with wearing like a white shirt with like this blue shawl that I had worn in Italy for that summer. When my family, we all went on vacation, and you know, in order to get into the churches, you need to like have a shawl to cover your shoulders and stuff, so it was the best I could do. My mom actually has like this tiny Virgin Mary statue in her room, and I kept looking at it and like trying to figure out like what I could do to like recreate that, but like not make it a costume. So I'm pretty proud of it. I don't think it was too over the top, but I think it got the message across. Okay, so I'm very stoic. Whoop, my eyes open. Okay, I'm gonna stop it here again. I just remember I had to do multiple takes of this because it was so hard to not blink through all of this and keep my eyes like very wide and scary looking. Yeah, I feel like keeping my eyes open the whole time was a lot harder than just like the movements and like trying to act like I was in stop motion. Now I know that I probably didn't have to worry about that with the way that they did the costume in the movie, but you know what? I'm still proud. I'm still proud of my eye acting. Okay, and then I end on this very malevolent looking evil grin. And I remember I tried to hold that for as long as I could so I could like scare the other person who's like on the other end of the screen who was like watching my audition video. I remember I did another take of this where I had like a scarier expression on my face, but I ended up going with this one just because I felt like overall it was the best take that I did. So overall this was 39 seconds long, so I did achieve not going over a minute in length with this video. Hooray! Oh wow, I submitted this tape pretty early. I got it in Saturday, December 16th. Yeah, that was like, I only took a day to do this. And you know what? Maybe I could have practiced a little bit more. Maybe I could have spent a little bit more time on it. But overall, I am very proud of it with my limited movement experience. Typically, you do want to try to get in self-tapes as early as possible because once it starts getting closer and closer to the deadline, you just get like a flood of submissions all at once and you start to get overwhelmed. Like I've been on the other side of the casting table. It can get very crazy because you've already seen a couple of people that you liked and then you just get like a flood of submissions of people who are also talented. So then it's just like hard to narrow down like who should make it into the top 10 or whatever. So it's always just better to be the early bird who catches the worm rather than like late. Doesn't mean that you won't get picked if you're on the later side with sending in a tape, but it's just better overall. So yeah, I submitted my tape early. I thought I did good, but unfortunately I did not hear back at all. No callbacks, no nothing. Let's see, who was the girl who ended up booking the role? Okay, Juliana Lamia. It was Juliana Lamia who ended up booking the role. She only had one credit before Terrifier 3, and I think this explains why she got the role. It was a music video by an artist named Call Me Solstice where she was a dancer, so she did have dance experience. I remember going into the theater to watch the movie and seeing the scene, and I do remember that the way that she moved, it was a lot quicker and a lot choppier than the way that I had moved. It was super quick. It was like, and I have no idea if they like added any kind of special effects to that, like maybe they sped it up in post-production, but I do remember that just the quality of her movements, just a lot sharper than what I had done. Those prosthetics they put on her were so cool though. I remember someone sent me a video of like a behind the scenes where they put all the like the mask and like the creepy stuff all over her, and it just, it looked so good. It looked so good. I was so sad I missed out on this, but I think she did a fantastic job. I think she rightfully deserved this role. And so my version of the Virgin Mary will forever live in the dark recesses of horror history. But you know what? It's okay. It's okay that I missed out on Terrifier 3. You know why? Because Damien Leone just announced a Terrifier 4 that's gonna be coming out who knows when. And who knows, I may have another chance to audition for the Terrifier series, hopefully, for a role that does not involve so much creepy movement and dance experience. And that about wraps up this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed watching that audition tape, and I hope you learned something new and interesting about the acting industry from it. Make sure to like this video if you enjoyed, and hey, maybe even consider subscribing if you want to see more acting industry related videos in the future. Also leave a comment down below if you've seen Terrifier 3. Also, I would just really love to talk about that movie with people because a lot of my friends are kind of too squeamish to go see the movie, so if you've seen Terrifier 3, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Hope you all have a lovely and maybe not too scary or bloody holiday season, and until the next video, bye!